This video is brought to you guys by fragrancebuy.ca/fragflex. We do this every month. We talk about this fantastic online store, one of the best sources of every fragrance you could probably be interested in looking into. They have it in their catalog. They speak for themselves. I don't really need to tell you how amazing they are unless you've been living under a rock, in which case, how's your neck? That sounds kind of painful. But yeah, every fragrance I talk about in today's video will be linked down in the description at fragflex/fragbuy. Do some perusing, maybe you'll find something you like. But this video is very simple. I get lots of comments on my videos, and some of those comments come as recommendations for fragrances I need to try. And I'll be honest with you guys, I like your recommendations, but it's overwhelming when you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people saying, hey, try this, you need to try that, check this out, this is amazing, this got me all these compliments, I love this one, try this out, Justin, and review this. It's amazing, but it's a lot. Every now and then I will come around to trying one of your recommendations that sounds really interesting to me. I've got 7 here that I got as a result of you guys. So you guys are to blame. A few of these fragrances I have tried because I have them. A few of these fragrances I have tried because I have them. A few of these fragrances I have tried. A few of these fragrances I have tried. A few of these fragrances I have tried. A few of these fragrances, and 3 of them are still boxed. I haven't even unboxed them. I requested that Fragrance Buy send them to me because you guys have been recommending them to me a lot over the years, and I figured they'd make a great addition to fill out this video. So we're going to be doing a little bit of live sniffing along the way. Hope you don't mind that. I'm sure you don't. So how about we dive right into it? Our first fragrance is going to be our first bit of live sniffing. I think I've tried this in the past, but I can't remember. So I'm just going to say I haven't tried this in the past. This is one that a lot of you guys love, gets a lot of hype from the house of Maison Kurkdjian. They call this Amyris Homme. So I'm going to unbox this. Let's see if it's worth all the gas you guys keep pouring on this one. This box within a box design always makes me chuckle. I know I didn't just chuckle, but internally I chuckle. People love this stuff. People hype this stuff, say it's one of the most versatile. It's a compliment getter, all that good stuff. Beautiful bottle. I'm actually getting ready to do a live stream in a few hours for the announcement and the release of our brand newest Zed Creators 3.0 fragrances. By this point, you have already seen or heard about it. If you haven't, maybe you're still under that rock. Go see a chiropractor and go check out whatever video I put up here. So exciting. We're so thrilled to finally have them out, but enough of that. Because that's happening later, I'm spending time with my fragrance today, so I'm not going to be spraying anything on skin. I do have a few blotters here, which is kind of a rare commodity for me. I just seem to not have many floating around these days because I don't buy them that much these days. So I was lucky to find these few that are unsprayed, and we're going to use them right now. So yeah, just first impressions. So don't get anything up in a wad thinking that I'm going to make my final assessments in this video off of blotters. That's not how I do things. I'm just getting the first impressions, primarily in the air. First impressions, I like this. It does smell very easy. There is a freshness to it. There is a little bit of a resinous sweetness that might be the amyris. It's smooth, it's clean. Again, a little bit sweet, a little bit of richness. There's some dimensionality here, but it's an easy fragrance. It's one that could easily be mistaken for being designer, I think, if you smelled it blindly, having never tried it. But I can tell that the quality is definitely steps beyond what you would find from a typical modern, sweet, fresh, masculine profile in a designer bottle today. I see why you guys are gassing this one. It's lovely. Not special, I would say, at least not yet. Again, not my final assessment. Let me know what you think of Amyris Homme if you tried it. It's going to be linked down in the description to Frag Buy if you haven't checked it out yet. Our next fragrance is one that I blind bought probably 2 years ago. You guys have been raving about this one incessantly, and I'm like, let me finally just go ahead and grab this one. It wasn't what I expected, which was a little bit of a bummer at first. I put my ego aside and I'm like, I like this. From Xerjoff, 40 knots. People love this stuff, but it is a little polarizing. It may not be your jam. Whatever flavor of jam you like or don't like, it may or may not be that. 40 knots is not an aquatic fragrance, as I thought it would be. It's more of like a powdery, ambery, fresh-ish fragrance with a touch of a saltiness, with some woods, but it mostly has this kind of rich, prevalent, ambery, powdery sweetness that makes it wear very posh. It makes it very elegant. You can wear it day or night. I wouldn't pull it out in the dead of summer, but it can get away with some warmth when it's not too hot, but that's fine for the cooler weather. No problem. It's a good performer. Definitely smells reminiscent to something like Ombre Nuit from Dior, which is also a beautiful fragrance, but I don't have that one. And I've heard that this is a better performer than that. So for those of you who care deeply about performance, then that is something to consider. But this is another one that I think really hit the mark, that you guys seem to enjoy, that you recommended I try. I tried it and I like it too. So let me know what you think of 49s. This next fragrance was also a little bit uncertain at first, and I would say even today, I'm still slightly uncertain about it. I can't say I'm 100% fully invested and committed to saying, I like this, I would wear this at the drop of a dime, and I would easily recommend it. There's still some edginess here that I'm not totally sold on, but I like it more and more, especially more since I first got it. This is Terre Hermès Eau Intense Vetiver. Maybe a little bit of a forgotten flanker, but it is a beloved one for some people. It is pretty intense, I do have to say. And almost so that the vetiver, which is typically earthy, grassy, woody, dry, that you get out of the original, is just more here. It is definitely more intense. It is earthier. It is more pungent. It almost comes off a little bit sour to me, almost a little funky in a very, very subtle way, but not for very long. Just a couple minutes, I'm just like, ooh. And then it settles and it reminds me of the original, but not exactly. It does kind of do its own thing. It is more bottom heavy, it's earthier, but it's not like the Parfum, which is more refined, more rounded, less intense, just more present. So I still prefer the Parfum over something like this in terms of a flanker to the original, but I'm coming around to it more and more. So you guys said I should try it. I tried it. I haven't worn it a ton, but I'm slowly coming back around to it. So those of you who liked it and told me to try it, I know you really dig it. So I'm coming around. Let me know what you think of Terre Hermès Eau Intense Vetiver.
Let's do another unboxing, shall we?
This is from the house of Histoires de Parfums. This is one that they call 1899. I think it is Ernest Hemingway. This box is unnecessarily elaborate. So 1899, I do believe it's supposed to be kind of a warmer, spicier fragrance, maybe more earthy, maybe some vanilla. I don't remember. I try not to focus too much on notes these days, but let's give it a spray. Familiar. Yeah, warm, spicy, almost cinnamon-like, maybe a touch of citrus up top, and definitely a little sweet, like vanilla. It does remind me of something like Spice Bomb. I feel like I have smelled this before. I think I did a whole video on Histoires de Parfums like 8, 9 years ago, where I just kind of sniffed a sample set, and I probably smelled this one, but I don't remember. I can easily say that the paper is doing it horrible justice. So skin will have to be the test here. Amyris did okay on paper. I got a pretty good idea. This one I can tell is flat on the paper, but I can tell this will be a great warm, spicy, sweeter fall or winter fragrance. We'll see. Are you a fan of this one? 1899. Let me know what you think. This one is fairly new to my collection. I featured in maybe at least one video recently as a fall fragrance that I plan on wearing and getting to know more and more this season. And it's one that's super hyped. It's very, very popular, very beloved. One of the most hyped fragrances from this house and probably one of the most hyped in the niche community, period. This is Nasomatto Baraonda. Again, I did talk about it recently, so I'm not going to talk a ton about it in this video, but I see why people like this one. It is so different. It is its own thing, but it's a beautiful balance of niche with accessibility. It doesn't smell crazy. It doesn't smell weird. It just smells like nothing you've smelled before, but it smells like something you can actually wear. Hard balance to strike. Authenticity that doesn't go over your head. It's a boozy, woody fragrance. People say whiskey, but I get a lot of musk and I get this almost red wine accord. It's like a fruity, woody, slightly sweet, juicy booziness wrapped up in musk and woods. I don't remember what else is in here, and honestly, they don't make the notes public. People just surmise what's in here based on their own little nose, and I do concur mostly with what I see around, but I do get something that's wine-like. Maybe even this cork would pertain more to that, but I don't know. I like this stuff a lot. Those of you who love this, I see why. This is one I see why. That's funny. This is one I have no reservation saying, I really enjoy this. I'm probably going to like it more and more as I continue to wear it, and I am going to be wearing it. Let me know if you're a fan of Baraonda. Another one that I talked about recently, probably in the same video that I featured Baraonda in, another one that I plan on wearing more and more and getting to know better this fall season, and one that you guys have been telling me I need to try. I've been on an Acqua di Parma kick this year. I've been just kind of scooping up more and more of their fragrances. This usually happens to me unknowingly and undecidedly. One house will kind of become my focus for a year, and I'll just start grabbing a bunch of their fragrances. Acqua di Parma became that house somehow. This one is Oud. I think I've called it Colonia Oud. Maybe that's what it's technically called, but I think it is just more commonly known as Acqua di Parma Oud. There was maybe an eau de cologne or some kind of lighter version that came in a brown bottle. I don't think that's available anymore. Now it comes in this richer eau de parfum bottle with the black and all that, and it's lovely. I see why people really dig this one. It's fresher than I was expecting, and I think some of you guys mentioned that. You said it's more versatile than it seems. It's a little fresher than it seems, and you're right. I don't know exactly what makes it fresh. I didn't ever really look at the notes, but to me, I do get this warm, slightly sweet, dry woodiness that's a little spicy, and yes, kind of aromatic. And I think as it dries down, you don't really get as much of the oud as you get leather. It becomes kind of a supple but textural leather with a smoothness to it, with remnants of that sweetness. Very elegant, but a little understated. I find that it lasts pretty good on the skin, but doesn't fill the space like crazy, which is totally fine. It makes it even more elegant, more sophisticated. If you want an evening type of fragrance, maybe even a date night scent that is definitely off the beaten path as far as mainstream or trying to please everyone, but still is pleasant, still is well crafted, still is interesting and beautiful, and doesn't grab people by the cheekbones and shake them into oblivion, then this is definitely one to check out if you're interested in something like that. I see why you guys dig this one, Acqua di Parma Oud. And our final fragrance is another unboxing. Why not go out with a bang? This is one that probably I got fewer recommendations for, but the ones I did get really stood out to me, really stuck with me. And I've had my eye on this loosely for years. I've heard its legends spoken and I just never got around to it. But I am a big fan of this house, which is Hermes. And this is one that they call Bel Ami Vetiver. So I'm just gonna open up this tester box, and we got this beautiful larger bottle. I haven't tried the original Bel Ami, but I'm curious to try the Vetiver. I heard good things. We're gonna put this on a blotter and stop all the yapping, get more to the sniffing. How about that? One more.
Oh.
Now this is my speed. This is good. That is a great vetiver. That is not your average vetiver, but nothing crazy. I can definitely see how it could be seen as a little bit old-fashioned, maybe a touch mature, but gosh, there's so much class here. Even off of the paper, it's shining. I can tell this is gonna have some beautiful depth on the skin. I have a feeling the vetiver is gonna come out even more, because that's what vetiver does on my skin. It kind of takes over fragrances sometimes. Oh man, what am I smelling here? It's kind of dry and dusty. I'm reminded of like walking into an old library and just kind of smelling the history, smelling the years in the wood, in the books. Very subtly sweet, very subtly fresh. It's not stuffy, but it is kind of old, if that makes sense. It's a good balance. So yeah, definitely slightly bitter woods, that dry vetiver, more on the earthy side than the grassy side. I can't tell if there's a leather, maybe some florals that kind of soften it up a little bit, maybe some citruses up top. I do get a little bit of a mouth-watering pop, like lemony or grapefruit or something. Classy, well done. In fact, I really want to see the notes in this. I'm super curious. We got vetiver, we do have leather, so I thought I got some leather in there. LME resin, that makes total sense. No citruses, but I think the LME is where I was getting a little bit of that lemony pop. It has these piney, lemony, citrusy, slightly fresher nuances as a resin. We have some carnation and iris, so those are the florals I was getting. Definitely some spices. If you dress this one up and you want people to take you seriously and you want to be remembered without people necessarily saying,
"Oh my gosh, you smell so good."
if you're one of those people who doesn't need compliments like that to keep your heart beating, then you're gonna like this one. This is classy. I can get behind this. You guys are right. You guys are right. This one is phenomenal. Hermes Bel Ami Vetiver. We are going to become friends, my friend. I need to get a life.